Is it somebody I don't my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I am here because I am shocked. Sorry for the blank screen over here, but picture right up here. Oops, sorry, Mike. But yeah, no, I'm here to talk about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. Well, really just Cardi B and how she's doing with her breakup with Stephon Diggs just recently after the Super Bowl. Because let me tell you guys, a lot is going on with Cardi B. She just recently started her tour yesterday, February 11th. So because of that, she's on her tour for the next February, March, April. So for the next 3 months, she's on tour. Let's not forget that she also just recently had a baby, like 2, 3 months ago. And she also recently just got divorced and is still processing that divorce and now has to deal with a breakup after spending like 100, no, not 100, it was like a million, like over a million for Stephon Diggs' party for winning the Super Bowl, for him just to not win the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl was just an all-round bust for Cardi B, except for the fact that she got to star alongside Bad Bunny. However, most of us fans are saying, why did Cardi B not even sing or get featured? So I'm not sure if you could say it was a good thing or a bad thing that she was featured alongside of Bad Bunny. But all that to be said, there is a whole lot actually, guys, that happened at the Super Bowl, which I can't believe. Everybody in the bee's knees was at this Super Bowl game. I kid you not. However, this is what Cardi B had to say at the very beginning of the Super Bowl. Now, this post, her statement makes me wonder, did she know at the beginning that she was already single, or did she get broken up with throughout the game? And also, allegedly, people had thought that it was Cardi B that had broke up with Stephon Diggs, right? But actually, it's turning out the rumors are that she got broken up with. So not only did she leave her husband, which she's still married to, but she also then got dumped after going to a rebound, in my opinion. But hey, you know what? Stephon Diggs is actually kind of weird, creepy, not creepy, but weird and crazy and insane to think that we're at this present moment, because I always said in my readings that Stephon Diggs was like that magical remedy for Cardi B that just helped her heal, help her, I guess, become a better woman. And then this happens. And I'm like, Stephon Diggs, how did you drop the ball on this one? But I'm getting way ahead of myself because I have many videos to, I guess, back up my sentiment. It was quite interesting doing a deep dive to bring these videos to you guys. But here is Cardi B at the very beginning of the Super Bowl.
Message for Stephon before the game. One inspired message.
Good luck.
How we celebrate? How we celebrate if you win a Super Bowl?
And also, guys, can we rewind that back to take a look in a second about how as soon as she realized the question was about Stephon Diggs and what she had to say to Stephon Diggs, she had that look like, go. And then just looked away and just did not look back. That tells you all. She didn't even look back.
How we celebrate? How we celebrate if you win a Super Bowl?
So because of that, that was at the very beginning of the Super Bowl. But we have this Missy right here. Her name is Pre, and she has been all around the industry, honestly. First, she was allegedly a mistress that was with Offset, who Offset cheated on with while he was with Cardi B. This was before Stephon Diggs even entered the picture, right? So now later down the line, we're seeing that Pre, remember this outfit, because I'm about to play a video for you guys, and you're going to be like, oh my God, that girl looks familiar. Well, as you can see, there is Pre. Let me rewind it back some more for you guys. There is Pre, and boom, right there. I paused it. It's hard to tell with her red clothing on, but as you can see, they grasped hands, and you're just like, not Offset, you're just like, Stephon Diggs, when did you become so close with Cardi B's ex-husband slash ex-husband's mistress? So much so that she's at the football game and she's saying that this is her first Super Bowl and that she hopes more to come next year. I'm just saying. And so because of that, this is her first Super Bowl. Well, girl, how did you get invited to the Super Bowl? And why is this suddenly your Super Bowl? Why is this your first Super Bowl that Stephon Diggs just happens to be at? And so is Cardi B. And Stephon Diggs just happens to be with Cardi B, who was with the guy that you was cheating on behind her back. So because of that, it's just like a whole, it's like, how did we get in? How did this go from a married couple to a triangulation to a square? Because now we got added into this, and I'm just like, okay, too many people's names are getting added into this. And then I heard there was also some alleged other baby mamas, and Stephon Diggs had brought some of his people that he's like growing families with. Some of his kids, I think, were at the Super Bowl, something along those lines. So it wasn't just Cardi B that was there to support Stephon Diggs that night. It was many others that feel like they're entitled or close enough to Stephon Diggs. So, interesting, right? You gotta wonder, how was Cardi B feeling in this very moment? I didn't want to say what I was thinking, but those were some of the clips that I had to show you guys for the Super Bowl. Was that everything it for the Super Bowl? Yes, it was. So now I have one video for you guys that I'm going to play, which is about Cardi B starting her tour. I'll just have that playing in the background as I chat with you guys. Go on, play. There we go. So there's Cardi B. This was her opening song at the tour called Little Miss Drama. Am I the drama? Little Miss Drama tour. Yeah, Cardi B, it seems like you're in a lot of drama this year. But no, at the very beginning of her tour for February 11th, she opened up with the song Be Careful. And I noticed, looking through some of these videos and the comments that I was reading on TikTok, it seems to be pretty split. Some fans were just like, yes, this is the best Cardi B. I love a hurt Cardi B. And other people are just like, oh my God, it's so sad to see her go through a divorce and a heartbreak. So there's two sides of the other coin, of the same coin. Some people are just like, man, Cardi B is amazing. She's performing, she's singing it with her heart. And others are just like, wow, you can really tell that Cardi B is hurt, and it sucks that she has to go from this to that. And others were just like, I wish she would have just healed and not had gone with Stephon Diggs and just been happy and lived her life. So because of all that going on, yeah, I choked on my spit. No, I got something in here. I said, no, I'm good. I sure did. Yeah, I was over here talking on a roll. Next thing I know, I swallowed my spit. Sorry about that, guys. I got so engrossed in speaking that I literally forgot to breathe and swallow at the same time. So because of that, that's what's going on at the beginning and the start of the Cardi B tour. Now, some other songs. This one right here in particular.
I do not want to get emotional. I just want to tell you, go ahead. Nobody say your motherfucking happiness.
I hope you guys could hear that. That was kind of hard with the music in the background, but just in case you couldn't hear it, the key thing that she said was, don't let anybody take your happiness. And then people are saying that she was trying not to cry on stage while performing this song. What song was this exactly? Okay, they don't tell me what exactly song this was, but yeah, this was first night too, on top of that. So February 11th must have been really hard for her, which also wasn't too far off from the Super Bowl anyway. So you got to think about it. First, she got dumped on Super Bowl day, so that's Sunday. And then she goes and performs Wednesday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, she get like 3 days to recover before she has to go on stage and be in front of a bunch of people, sing all this really hot girl-ish, talking about being outside, be careful, Barty, Cardi, all those different things that you know how Cardi B music is, and she has to do all this, perform, and yet we all know that she is experiencing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I literally thought you guys could see me that entire time. The caffeine got me all whacked up. But no, for real, all that Cardi B has to go through, she still has to truck through and perform. And as some fans have said, they can really feel her singing her lyrics and feeling her lyrics. So because of that, and one more video before I hop into this reading. This was just some things that I wanted to bring on Cardi's tour. So since this is what's going on in her life. Because I'm not sure, is Stefan Diggs even dating Pre? Because they're both following each other on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, Cardi B has unfollowed Stefan Diggs. They both unfollowed each other. So because of that, it's quite interesting what's going on, how this happened, why it happened. So because of that, this is the last video that I have for you guys. You heard it right. Y'all heard it right out of Cardi B's mouth. She said it. When I say be careful with me, I for real mean be careful with me. So because of that, Stefan Diggs didn't heed her warning. So now she gonna have to be. So the next guy gonna have to be real careful with Cardi B. I'm just saying. I'm sorry for the next guy. For real, for real. So with that being said, let's just pull some cards for Cardi B and Stefan Diggs. Okay, there we go. Let's see how Cardi B is coping with the loss of Stefan Diggs in her life. How is Cardi B processing her breakup with Stefan Diggs after this public relationship, after she stood by him, 10 tones down, was going to be like his ride or die for him, and yet this happens. So Cardi B, twice in a row, she makes mistakes in her love life. Yikes. So tell me, Cardi, how are you coping with not the divorce, but the ending of the relationship with you and Stefan? Ooh. Okay, I see the High Priestess. I see the Hierophant. I'm sorry, they call it the High Priest in this deck. Same diff, male, female, gender roles, but we see here with the Hierophant is that Cardi B in this present moment, when it comes to her coping, I think she's more committed to herself more than just being committed to anybody. It's like everybody in this like physical reality that she seems to get attached to and falls for and gets committed to always seems to let her down. So it's almost like she's having commitment issues and unable to trust. So that's something within herself that she's going to have to work through and process. But through right now, this present moment, it is something that she is, I will say, always on her present mind, is wondering how can she be a committed wife? What could she do to be that like committed wife in a sense, or committed girlfriend, committed lover or partner? Because that's all Cardi B really wants, is somebody that is going to be there for her through all her thick and thins, through all her problems and all that. And yet we still see that men still seem to let Cardi B down. And I saw a comment that says that made a joke about Cardi B's song, Be Careful. They said at this point, Cardi B needs to be careful of herself. So that's exactly a really good sentiment, actually, whoever said that comment, because that's exactly the vibe that I'm getting with this priest, the Hierophant, is that Cardi B is moving in this present moment, is trying to figure out how to look out for herself in commitments, make commitments within herself and boundaries that she won't break. And if she breaks them, she's going to be hurting herself internally. You know how you set those boundaries and you're just like, if I set this boundary, I put it up for a reason because I need it, because I'm tired of being sick and tired. Well, that's exactly the point where Cardi B is. What is the boundaries that she needs to set up and needs to commit to herself in order to know to spot the signs even? But the Tower is at her foundation. The Knight of Pentacles in the past. The Ten of Cups in her head, which is very fitting. And the Queen of Wands. Very interesting. In this present moment, all I see is people cards. Actually, every card in here is a person card except for her foundation, which is both good and a bad thing. We see here at the foundation, there is no people. It's the Tower card. But usually the Tower symbolizes people falling off. That's usually what's depicted on there. And like, while yes, I do see two people in here crashing, it just seems like mentally this has taken a blow to Cardi B's ego, in a sense, going back to up here at the very top, because in her head she has this dream. She's searching for this dream. Oh, at this point she's almost like a J-Lo and somebody else whose name is currently slipping me, who kind of reminded me of J-Lo, out here trying to find love and is just struggling to find love. And it's always seeming like the people that they choose to get themselves committed to always backfires with them. And each of those three women that I'm talking about, they all have to start realizing and noticing a pattern within themselves. The change has to begin with them first. So all that put out there, we see here is that's what Cardi B is going through at this present moment. And the Tower is all about things come crashing down mentally, and because it's at her foundation, the foundation that she had with Stephon Diggs is coming down. The foundation that she thought she had within herself that was solid is coming down, because she has allowed herself to fall yet again. Not that she didn't meant it on purpose, but just the fact that she has allowed. Maybe there were some things that if she would have been a little bit more stricter with her boundaries, she wouldn't be in this situation. You know how you always want to give a person a grace, fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, shame on me. Well, it should be a fool me once, shame on me to be the fool. So because of that, I know we all make mistakes and all that. That's the sentiment that Cardi B is feeling. Like, when is there going to be a point where I have to take accountability for my actions, basically? And we see here at her head, the Crown has taken that mental blow, like the Tower says, is the Ten of Cups, the happy ending, the pitch perfect dream, the beautiful relationship, happily in love. Even though he has all these baby mamas on the side, he's my like one and only. He's dedicated to me, and like, well, yes, while I'm still technically married, Stephon Diggs wants me, and we're gonna have this beautiful relationship, and we're gonna have such an amazing future. Yeah, that came crashing down in Cardi B's head as soon as Stephon Diggs broke up with her. And maybe she could have saw the warning signs ahead of time. But benefit of the doubt, maybe boo-boo stress. It's Super Bowl season. It's getting close in time, Let them cool off, let them chill. And then it's like, boom, a breakup. And it's like, wait, hold up. If I would have known that was coming, I knew it was coming, but I would have known this was the outcome, I wouldn't have gone the extravaganza as I would have, because allegedly I heard Cardi B left early as soon as Stephon Diggs lost the Super Bowl, because she was pretty much like, I'm broken up with, you lost the Super Bowl, so what are we going to have a party for, right? So that was her sentiment. She was like, this was pretty much a bust of a day. So because of that, it just wasn't fun for her having to experience this. And I see here in the past is the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles, which we see. This is actually quite interesting, because in terms of her relationship and how she's coping with Stephon Diggs, we see that maybe this, I don't want to say like she was investing in someone, Let me just pull some cards to see if this Knight of Pentacles was like an investment, but an investment with trepidation. I'm just curious. The Queen of Cups. And the Page of Cups. Oh, that page wanted to come out no matter what. Yes, well, thankfully, water nurtures earth, so that's great for her on that one since in the past. But also looking at it, this Knight of Pentacles comes with two powerful cup cards, the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups, which honestly is quite a polarity. The Queen, mature, maybe weighed down by the burdens of life, but the Page is all youthful, could be a little bit ignorant, is bliss, just not paying attention. So because of all that, you have that polarity of being a queen but a page at the same time. Yet there's a knight, which is another major player. A knight is all about motion, movement, and getting that transition and the work done, which is all that I could see that Cardi B was working on when it comes to her relationship with Stephon Diggs. Like I said, she saw that there were some not red flags, yellow flags, things that pique her caution, like I might want to check back on this in a bit. But we see here is the Queen of Cups, which symbolizes with this Knight of Cups is like a message that maybe it's not something that she didn't want to look at because the Queen of Cups has her back turned to the Ten of Cups. And why would you want your back turned to the Ten of Cups? Especially because it's your own suit. The Ten of Cups is supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be happy. That's exactly what the Queen wants. Peace, harmony, and love. And because the back is turned to that, but the Knight isn't. The Knight is walking towards it. I still see here that when it comes with Cardi B and how she's coping with Stephon Diggs after this breakup on Sunday, basically, let's just say, is that before they had gotten to this moment, there were things that was standing out to her that caused her to be a little bit more cautious and aware of her surroundings, and what's going on, like checking in on Stephon Diggs, seeing if he's like maneuvering the same way. You know, those little things that you start to realize and notice when or when not your partner's being themselves, and then you like call it out once you finally have gathered enough evidence and intel for yourself to be like, you know, there's just something different about you, before they can get to it before you, which sadly Stephon Diggs got to it before she did. And we see here is the Page of Cups is a sense of overflooding of emotions, literally a sense of flooding of emotions, and that's at her foundation. A flooding of emotions that led to the Tower moment, because it was just like one thing that piled on another. It was just like, God, can I get anything right? But moving forward, we see here Cardi B is going to rise above all that energy and become the Queen of Wands, which is very beautiful energy. Now, while I don't see anything that's her in her element as an air card in a Libra, I don't even see anything in here about balancing duality, honestly. But I still have two more cards. But what I really like is that there's two queens here, the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Wands. This is a very nice transitional phase, because while cups and fire are opposite, well, water and fire are opposite of each other, they can complement each other nicely. So she's transitioning from like two extremes. So it's like Cardi B is going to work on not allowing this to bitter her, keep her from love. I mean, she is going to take a break from love at this present moment because girl needs it. But no, she just has learned that there's just some things that she's going to have to, as the Queen of Wands, understand that she has the control. Yeah, she has the control over the destiny and how her life plays out. So if she isn't happy about something, she doesn't have to accept it, and she doesn't have to stay in it. And just because it's a red or yellow flag, doesn't mean that she has to completely ignore it either, which is what seems to be her go-to, in the hopes that it will play it out. But let's see what this Queen of Wands comes with. Oh, hey, the High Priestess. How funny. She wanted to come out. And then the Nine of Wands. Yeah, literally not a single air card at all. So for that sense, do I feel like Cardi B is going to be in harmony or imbalance moving forward. No, but she's definitely working forward to getting to that path though. The only reason why she isn't is because there's so many things that are clouding her judgment, specifically 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 cards that are water, 3 cups that are wands, which is a nice almost balanced and complementary to water, and then we have 3, no, we have 2, yeah, and then we have 2 earth cards, which is slightly lacking, but you know what's lacking the most? Air. And what element is Cardi B? Air. Do I see anything that has anything to do with duality and balance? Kinda. The High Priestess. But the High Priestess is showing up after the High Priest. Not to get confused with the Hierophant. But the Hierophant comes before the High Priestess, which is quite interesting because usually in sequence of events you would want to go through the High Priestess before getting to the Hierophant. So in that sense, I feel like she's working backwards, like regressing, but regressing in a sense of trying to reflect in order to move forward. She doesn't make the same mistakes and keeps falling for, the same type of guy, never not noticing the signs, even though they could be like waving clear as day in her face. Like that one person on TikTok that always is waving red flags and they call him like the red flag guy. Yeah, she needs something like that. And she's starting to realize that moving forward with the High Priestess, she has to trust herself, trust her intuition, know that Cardi B knows what Cardi B wants. So Cardi B got to start listening to her boundaries. The High Priest. Listen to your boundaries, and when you set your boundaries, know that there are ones that you can commit to and ones that you are going to commit to because they enhance your value, because you want your boundaries to enhance your value. You're going to set boundaries that are going to make you feel comfortable and make you feel good about yourself. So because of that, why would you want to cross the boundary and then basically bring negative vibes to yourself when all you want to bring to yourself is positive vibes? It's kind of like on a hamster wheel, on a loop. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results kind of thing. And Cardi B is, like I said at the very beginning, sick and tired of being sick and tired. So because of that, let's just pull 3 cards to symbolize how does Cardi B feel now that Stefan Diggs has broken up with her. Honestly, not bad cards for Cardi B. They may be heavy ones, but they're not like negative or bad ultimately. We see here a goodbye. Goodbye. I'm sorry, I was thinking of the song Goodbye by Russ. We see news, which is very fitting for that Knight of Pentacles. That news was coming down the chimney. And what do we have here? Day. Oh, well, that is beautiful. Bright futures ahead. Literally, there was a goodbye. Toodaloo. Toodaloo. And she got some news insight that made her change her mind, see a different perspective, and realize, hold up, wait a minute. I want to be treated a certain way and a particular way. I'm sorry, that song Big Dogs came to mind. But yeah, no, that could be exactly the song that maybe Cardi B is thinking of right now. Just get it how she live it. And basically that's the sentiment. I'm sorry, the song is literally, I hear the instrumental playing in my head. But with this news here, because this news has brought a sense of enlightenment to Cardi B, like the High Priestess and the Hierophant bring, and the Tower, honestly. Those are 3 good combination of cards for moving forward and having a sudden realization, clarity moment of realizing that you got to put yourself first when moving forward and trust yourself and stop trusting other ninjas, as Cardi B would say. And then from that, we see a positive lesson from this, a lesson that there's a day, like day. there's light, there's clarity. Stephon Diggs was not the one. She was, I don't know, stigmatized. She was hurting. You know, you make those wrong decisions when you're in those vulnerable states, and she can take some accountability for that within herself. She doesn't have to verbalize that with any of us, but internally she has taken that accountability, and she has learned from her behavior and her actions. Not that I'm saying that what she did was wrong, but also the internet wouldn't let her live it down either. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Cardi B and how she is coping with the alleged breakup with, I'm not even going to say alleged, because those videos I showed you guys, it looked like she was feeling it and out there trying not to be a sad girl on stage. So with that being said, but you know what? She was surrounded by people who truly love her, and that's her fans. Barty gang, thank you for being there for Cardi during this time. And with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. That will really mean a lot to the channel. Please and thank you. We would really appreciate it. Leave your comments down below. How do you feel about Cardi B? How do you feel about Cardi B getting broken up with by Stephon Diggs? And how do you feel about the whole Offset pre-situation going on that led to this? What do you think could have been the ultimate downfall to Cardi B and Stephon Diggs? So with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. And you know what we say to that? Or I say to that? Hype, hype, hype us up. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe to us. And with that being said, I'll see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!